Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Time to run our first tier 7 map, and I've decided to run the Jungle Valley. I did do a little bit of research on the map. At least I just checked the wiki to see if it was rated as suicidal or not. And apparently the boss is a real doozy. So rather than running this as a yellow map or as a rare with a whole bunch of suicidal mods, let's run it as a blue map that mostly just affects things during the battle, and then during the boss fight we can just focus on doing the boss fight itself rather than doing it at an extreme difficulty the first time through. So let's get started. So apparently the Jungle Valley boss is something close to a proper Spider Queen, who has a lot of children. I believe there was a note about spiders spawning infinitely until the boss is defeated. So that's gonna be really fun. Let's see how the map layout is, because apparently the layout is rather straightforward. So this might be just one big line. So we found one edge, we found the back edge, see if we can find another side. Would be nice if this is basically just a jungle valley of the tropical island. Tropical island is nice to run. Always know exactly where you're going. So enemies poisoning doesn't really affect us because we are a chaos immune. And well, poison is a form of chaos damage. Thenamuga, that's one of the two bonus people we get here. The bonus rogue exiles. Not too much of a challenge. Okay, so it looks like my idea was indeed correct, that we have a line of swords to go through. So it's nice, we just weave from side to side and kill all the mobs in that we encounter. We can just do some shooting around the edges. Everything that survives we will pick off later. Ooh, Chaos Orb, fusing. I like this map already. Oh, chromatic. So I must say that I do like the curse on hit on the Vortex. It makes it rather easy to work with, and now usually against most mobs you really don't need to bother, because they'll just die in 2 hits, doesn't really matter. So there is no extra work or anything. But against the tougher bosses, just casting a vortex on them, which you usually would do already just to restrict their movement a little bit, it really does help that it also curses them then. Hello there, people. If you really want to die, then I'll indulge you. Curse on hits that can just be upgraded. There's no level limitations as with cast and damage taken. Okay. These trees do seriously mess with your projectiles. Luckily we have a lot of them, so if 1 or 2 get snagged behind a tree, it's not that big of a deal. Right, let's cross over to the other side again. So far so good, but we're basically running the map as a white map here. In terms of, well, we get extra rogue exiles, but other than that there's nothing really exciting going on. Ooh, ghost possessed. Arsonists. Let's drink our regen potion here. Standing on burning ground, not the most helpful thing in the world. I have yet to... Oh, actually I do have burning fixing on me now. So my Jace flask. Flask management is also one of those things that already always so busy thinking of the skills to use and how to position that flask management is something that I really do way not enough of. So we gained a level, which is good. That's one step closer to faster regen of our energy shields. Okay. As in, we are on our way to Essence Surge and we're grabbing the next point there. So the faster our energy shield starts to recharge, the faster it is full. Because it recharges pretty darn quickly. Ah, there's Dana Loreni, who is a nice statue at the moment. And really dead. So the bringer of fragility, we can deal with it. And gonna this. Also, that's gonna be the first downswap. Went rather quickly. So we sort, put everything in our box. Getting another tier 7 map is nice though. If you look at my map collection, tier 7s are not the issues. Tier 6 is the ones that I'm currently lower on than the tier 7s. Probably have started running tier 7s a bit earlier. So I did want to build up to it. I'll run a couple tier 5 and 6s before moving over to tier 7. So far the regular mobs itself are not that much of an issue because most of them are really frozen. And frozen mobs don't shoot back, which is a lovely, lovely property of most frozen mobs. I'll tell you that. So they killed my golem. Buggers. Boost speed a bit and let's cross over. I believe we failed to skip over a bit ago, so let's do that here. So we're slowly going uphill here, it seems. Not sure if that's always the case or if it's just how we're running it today. As I said, this is my very first time through. I did do some light research on the wiki to see what I was into, or what I was getting into. But no, Spider Queen sounds fun. I'm pretty looking forward to the fight. Especially because spiders are usually chaos and physical damage, and we are chaos immune. That means we only have to worry about the physical component rather than both components, making it a lot safer for us to run. Just like I think Museum might actually be a lot more manageable now that we are chaos immune. I believe the main difficulty in the Museum map is in the fact that two of the bosses in there... Oh, one of the difficulties of course is that there's multiple bosses there. And the other difficulty is that it's a boss that deals a lot of chaos. Actually 2 of the 3 or 4 bosses deal heavy chaos damage, which is tricky to deal with. Okay, all of you, chill out. Ooh, what are you? Otherworldly. Okay, there's a tree in the middle, so let's position around it and just keep blasting. Sorcerer gloves, well, we are still sticking to evasion and energy shield rather than pure energy shield. I mean, if this were a witch going pure energy shield, now switching out all the main armor for pure energy shields, we would have probably easily hit 10,000 energy shields at this point. And for a build that only at the last moment rebuilt into energy, into CI rather than planning it outright from the start. I considered it, but I never really strongly planned for it until later on. You could probably make some completely different choices in the skill tree and get yourself even more energy shield. And as a result, boost yourself even further. Especially if you go energy shield, Zealot's Oath, and you nab a whole bunch of energy shield regen. You could easily be generating 1000 energy shield per second, I think, while under sustained fire. With health it's a lot less, because I think it's hard to get more than 6,000-7,000 health. Okay. Roxy shield. We'll just curse them a bit. And then we need to get in the shield. Just blast them a bit with Vortex. And gone they are. Okay. And more bird, plant, things, animals, dinosaurs. I think that's about all the labels you could stick on them. Maybe they're just lizards. Kind of like a dinosaur, but less old. Vaal and Discipline. Happy I do have both of the skills on my bar now. Both the skeletons and the Vaal Discipline. That was the downside of running with two Frostbolts. Or two different versions of Frostbolt in addition to all the other skills, is that I was slightly low on just skill bar sockets at places. Let's do some clearing before we open up the strongbox. Just a regular strongbox, I know, but still have to do something useful with it. Can we? Yeah, we can. Freeze you and activate it. Okay, sure. And 4 additional items. Okay, so cold immune. Open it up. Blast them all to bits. Let's see, now we have you, and you might be the last one. Yeah, you are. And we got our Orb of Transportation back. That's kind of it. In the end, it wasn't truly currency efficient to enchant the box, but, you know. Drown in Orbs of Transmutation right now, so better to take a chance and see if it maybe if it might be useful, versus just not taking the chance at all. Hello, zombies. Goodbye. Okay, and I think we're going around the bend here. Oh, suicidal squad. And a ghost. And a stimulate. Yeah. That was not the smartest of move, ghost. Okay. Interesting. It's not a bend. It's actually the final wall. We've slain all the monsters. So all that remains is the boss. So I'll just empty our pockets. Also, as a side effect, we'll leave the portal right there at the exit. That's always annoying. Okay, so we'll just move this one in here. The Loom Chamber. Spider Queen looms. Blue spiders, okay. I can deal with that. I was gonna say, I can deal with that. But I couldn't port out. Interesting. Hey, now I want to defeat the itsy bitsy spiders. Okay, so we got that covered, we got this one up. We actually have access to Vaal Discipline and the skeletons down there. We got 2 portals to do it. So let's try. No, actually, we do it. We don't try. Okay. Speed. Queen. We have a Jade Flask that we can use. We have our Granite. We'll actually see if we can kill enough spiders to keep everything up here. Okay. Wasn't expecting this many big spiders. So Biki literally said hundreds of spiders. I thought that was maybe a little bit too much, but apparently just dozens of spiders is bad enough. Ooh, we're freezing the mid-air. That's pretty cool. Okay, so at this point I'm just trying to keep the Granite Flask and the Jade Flask up just permanently in order to dodge more and to reduce the impact of hits that do land. And Vortex is just helpful for basically as a lifesaver here. Okay. Slowly we are whittling down the spider. But man, oh man, this is an interesting boss fight. I understand why this one was rated 5 out of 5, also known as some pro players skip this one altogether. This is if you're playing a hardcore as if you don't expect anything, this is lethal. Well, you knew, you saw it was lethal the first step in, but we did manage to make it, and that's why running it on softcore for new maps is definitely the way to go. If you've done a map dozens of times, you know it inside out, oh, then it's hardcore safe. But until then, ooh, most of the maps, the boss fights, they really turn things upside down. I mean, looking back, the museum, I still have only defeated it once or twice. Yeah, that's definitely a really tricky map, and that's one you want to just run without any modifications at all, let alone negative curses or stuff. We have, well, this map was reasonably tricky. We had the unique map with all the wolves. That one was pretty lethal. At least the final room was pretty intense. But yeah, no, that's the tier 1, tier 2 maps. I can run them, no problem. And the higher tiers, they are getting sprinkled with maps that are very dangerous. I'm really curious to see when Atlas of World comes out. The devs have stated they are rebalancing maps. I wonder if something like a museum map, which is a tier 3 map, but the bosses don't behave like what you would expect for a tier 3 map. Well, compared to other tier 3 fights, it's way more difficult. I wonder if it stays on tier 3, they'll turn it down, or if they'll move it up to a higher tier to make the boss challenge match the actual tier. So I'm really curious to see how the game is going to be rebalanced, or at least how the maps are going to be rebalanced in the Atlas of Worlds. But that's gonna be a couple more days before we'll see that. So for now, I'm just gonna thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.